guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys tuning in for a little on the water video today. And guys, today I'm going to take you out on the lake and I'm going to show you what the ideal boat dock looks like, because you know, docks come in all shapes and forms all over the country, and not all docks are created equal. So I've got a really good example of what a great boat dock is here in terms of trying to identify it. So I'm going to turn the camera around here in a second and we're going to go over this dock in detail here. Guys, this is also, I'll give you a little insight into filming these videos. This is the third time I've started this video, because the first time I pulled into the cove, I found a nice dock. As soon as I got about, probably 3 minutes into the video, and some dude fired up his chainsaw in the yard right next to the dock, so that drowned it out. I went around to the next little area, did the same thing, got about 2 minutes into the video. Some guy started up his weed eater right in the middle of the video, so I had to get out of there. Went to the next one, same deal, got started the video up, been in it for a couple minutes, and the three of his dogs come running down the dock and started just barking their head off. So this is my fourth attempt at the video here, so we'll get into it. Also, guys, before we get started real quick, thank you very, very much for everybody out there that's been using and bookmarking my tackle warehouse link in every video description for your tackle purchases. If you're one of the viewers that have done that, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. And also, guys, anyone interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, just go to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, and you can shoot me a private message for details there. So I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, I've got a super nice dock here. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you why this dock is awesome, give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish it. So guys, here we go. This is a prime example of a really nice boat dock that's going to have some fish on it. Now, first of all, before we get into the dock, one of the important aspects of a boat dock is how it's positioned in relative to the area around it. Now, as you can see, we're back in here. We're in a major cove right here. The main lake's out there. And this is a little cove that goes back in here. So this is the leading dock. This is sort of like the point dock leading into this cove. So all the bass that come off like the main lake and they travel down this bank right here, maybe moving back into this back shallow area, they're gonna stop at this dock at some point. So you have a lot of traffic of bass through here. So pay close attention to how the dock is positioned. The more a dock is positioned in these highway areas, the better. Okay. The next thing with it is a really good boat dock like this one has a diversity of cover on it. There's a diversity of options for the bass. So we'll start here. Now, prime example, guys, look at that little concrete ramp into the water. When you're talking about a dock, don't forget the bank structures behind the dock, because they can hold fish too. So like that ramp area, that'd be high percentage. There's some busted up concrete there. Seawall there, if the water's high, could be a good option. And the meat and potatoes of any dock, in my opinion, as far as where most of the big fish live at, are in and around this back side here, like under the walkways. Now, one of the reasons this is so good is most docks, this is a really good water depth. It's a little bit shallower here. You've got a complex piece of cover here. You've got, like there, you've got a pipe in the water. You got shade. You got the dock coming over here. You've got a cable here. Now, this cable, you might be cussing it, because, if the wind's blowing, they're hard to fish it. Most people don't want to mess with these cables, so they don't fish the area behind the dock. But guys, make sure that you fish behind the dock there, especially right there. See right where that walkway intersects the inside of the dock? High percentage area. Another good reason this is a good dock, like the ski lift here. This is another piece of irregular feature. Fish can suspend around that. They can get around it. This right here is a prime example right here. See the little openings right here? Prime place to skip a jig or skip some type of plastic bait in there. Fish will get them underneath there. And also, if you can notice right here, look at the algae growing on that boat float there. This is what you want on any dock. You want to make sure that, you pay attention to that algae, because that algae will keep, minnows in there. Perch come up and feed on the minnows, and then the bass. Okay, you got a good outside corner here. Shade is going to be a critical element on any of these docks, but the shade changes based upon, the time of the day. So, different time of the day that could have shade on it. I love fishing this type of a dock that has a single walkway. I think single boat slips hold bigger fish, especially if there's a boat in it. Make sure that you want to get a cast right here. I'm going to get the boat up here. See that little opening, that little like 6-8 inch crack right there between the boat and the dock? See if you can pitch and flip something up in there. There's always one laying in there. Ladder, excellent spot right there, guys. This ladder's out of the water, but when that ladder's in the water, the fish will relate to that ladder. That's a pretty common you know, key focus point on any dock. A lot of times they're going to hang right around it. And then this time of day, like it's a mid part of the day right now, and see this little shade line here? This is like a 3-foot shade line, 2.5 or 3 foot, high percentage area right there. Those bass will gravitate and they'll move around this dock to these areas right next to that shade. And then you have another ladder right here. It's going to be also a high percentage area. That's actually my favorite place for a ladder. If you can find a ladder on the inside part of a dock like that, it's usually better than the ladders a little bit further out there. But the main thing about this dock, like I said, it's just got a little bit of everything for the fish. Okay guys, that's just a prime example of the type of dock that has what I consider a high percentage dock. Now, any dock can have fish on it. You can have bass on a dock that you know, doesn't have much to offer, because I don't care if there's nothing else except the dock itself. At least the dock provides some level of cover and it provides shade. So you don't want to like isolate them so much that you just like run into these coves and you hit the little point dock and you ignore everything else. The point, what I'm saying is, when you get to a dock like that, make sure that you spend some extra time there. Take your time, fish it very thoroughly, because a dock like that can hold multiple fish. I mean, I've caught 5 or 6 fish off of one dock before if it's positioned correctly, whereas other docks you might catch 1 or not even any at all on it. So anyway guys, that's just some of my favorite type of docks to look for. Techniques are all over the place. I mean, the technique, how you want to fish a dock, it totally depends on the depth that the dock is in. It depends on the time of year. It depends on the water visibility. You know, you might go into my playlist, guys. We got a lot of dock videos in there, but that's just some good overview from somebody that has grew up fishing in the Ozarks here, where there's lots of boat docks. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.